So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. From the shotgun, Osweiler looking for his running back, and he's got him. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll return it from the 6. And there's a flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
First down, Bridgewater. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And he's brought down after a good game. And they get 28 yards on that one. And it'll be a Minnesota first down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That was a good, forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, it usually doesn't work very well, and we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of positions and maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Bridgewater gives to his tailback, Peterson. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The ball carrier there, Adrian Peterson, he turned 31 back in March.
But after his return from knee surgery a few years ago, that incredible return, I don't think we look at his number the same way as we do a lot of running backs who turn 30.
Yeah, I agree. And right now, standing 17th all-time in the NFL rushing race.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That is caught inside the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
1st and goal from the 1 as they look to punch it in. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
They'll run for it with Peterson. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. Here's Peterson on 3rd and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adrian Peterson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead.
Well, they decided to run it in. and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Houston. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, Osweiler. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. A very solid gain of 27. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Still first down.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Shift together here from the D-line. On 2nd down, here's Osweiler. He's got time. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. A first-time Pro Bowler a year ago, Emerson Griffin, in there to sack him for a loss of 6. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
And back at the 8 now, 3rd and goal. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. 6 plays got them down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Now it's Osweiler. And that is incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, the Texans will call on their field goal unit. And on comes Nick Novak. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalposts. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of this.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Caught on the right side by Treadwell. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Texans take possession. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And last time out, they gave up the chip shot field goal, but obviously could have been worse than that. I think they felt pretty good about only giving up 3.
No doubt about it. Anytime an offense gets into the red zone, the thinking naturally for the defense is, okay, 3 points. We're going to give up 3 here, but let's make it no more than that. They met their goal.
On the other side, though, the offense, they weren't very happy.
No, because there's an opportunity. Once you get to the red zone, you're not thinking about kicking a field goal. You're thinking about how do you get it into the end zone, and when you don't, you walk off the field feeling a little bit of failure on that drive.
Yeah, who will have the better feeling at the end of this drive? Osweiler caught left side, Hopkins. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We just saw an example of what we talk about all the time when we meet with coaches. They want that hidden yardage to come to the front when they throw the football. Throw it, catch it, and then pick up more yardage after the catch.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Blair Walsh on for a long field goal. He's hit from as far away as 56 in his young career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
Now after the made field goal, Walsh back out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Houston. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Here's Osweiler to throw. Strong grabs it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Texans a 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. From the gun on third down, Osweiler. And down he goes. A sack. They sack him back across midfield at about the 48-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. On fourth down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time out. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations. But you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. First down, Bridgewater. But no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. It makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it, and it brings up second down. Peterson alone in the backfield. Here's Bridgewater. He'll rifle this one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Michael Pruitt, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Vikings will look to keep the pressure on in the second half. The Texans are coming off a bad game, and they haven't been able to get out of that funk here today. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Vikings take it at the 1. Peterson's looking for room to run, and he'll go in for the score. That puts them up by a touchdown. Texans have it early in the second. DeAndre Hopkins the catch over the middle, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 20. A fumble later on the drive would lead to a turnover. We move late into the second. From the Ville, Teddy Bridgewater squeezing the pass in here. And this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14.
Okay, Larry, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now it's Patterson. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he's brought down after a good game. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll give the Vikings a first down. And as our graphic shows, sort of back to his old form, you requested a meeting with a tight end coach this week. What came from that?
Yeah, that's not normal because we usually talk to the offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. It's pretty simple stuff, but you're talking about a former tight end now coaching who's been to Pro Bowls and understood what it takes to get things done and get them done better. He's had bad games and had to bounce back. So I just asked him, what kind of advice did you give him? What do you do with him? I told him to relax. He's one of the best in the game. Let's go play. And it's worked out pretty well in this one.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up. But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a third down attempt.
So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Osweiler gets it to Strong. And he's brought down after a good gain. They give him a gain of 38.
Now that's an impressive throw right there. And I think being 6'7", throwing that slant route helps because you can see over the defense and find the open windows.
That height has always helped him. Gonzaga actually offered him a basketball scholarship after his freshman year in high school.
And how about that? You know he's from Montana, and the reason he ended up at Arizona State, direct flights from his hometown into Phoenix allowed his parents to come see him play. That's why he ultimately chose ASU when he decided to play football.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans draw a bit closer. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Again, Peterson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A nice gain of 21 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
So off is Bridgewater, on the kicker Blair Walsh on 4th down. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So it's a rare two-miss ball game for him now. Normally one of the more dependable guys you're going to find around.
Very unlike him. One of the better kickers in the NFL. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him physically or mechanically. He's just having one of those games.
And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now Osweiler on second down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Osweiler now to throw on third down. He's got the completion to Strong. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. Well, there was no blitz. That was just a draw play that, to be frank, didn't fool anybody.
Did we hear the entire stadium screaming draw? Because it felt like everybody was all over that play, and the defense won that battle.
They'll run it again with Miller. Oh, the spin. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. Pat Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Penalty marker is down here.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Offensive mistake pushes him back. Now it's second and a little bit longer. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Bridgewater. Deep drop. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Second down following the run. They run again with Peterson. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. 3 yards left to grab here on third down. They come out here in the I. Third down, it's Adrian Peterson. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. 10 yards still left on second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
So a big spot forthcoming for the kicker, Blair Walsh. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. In a tight ball game here, and in these close ones, every drive becomes magnified.
And we don't want to overuse the word critical, but it feels that way as they head out there for this possession. They need to get the ball back and give their offense a chance to get them totally back into this game.
We'll see if the defense can do just that here. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now Osweiler. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Now it's Osweiler. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And it's first and goal now, but still 10 yards to go. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall. That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them. On second down, here's Osweiler. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jalen Strong, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score. I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Defense.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
And he will take a knee here. So per the new rules in 2016, this will be brought out to the 25-yard line. The Texans defense, we watch them get set to go. And they've got the lead. Last time they surrendered the field goal. We'll see what they do this go around.
And giving up 3 is never ideal because any defense wants to pitch a shutout. But that's not a bad thing in most situations. You only give up field goals, your team has a chance to win.
Yeah, they still, as I said, they've got the lead here. We'll see if they can get a stop and hold them to 0 points this time.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. To throw is Bridgewater. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it. Peterson. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Power, strength, athleticism. Those are 3 of the reasons you'd give the ball to Adrian Peterson on 4th down, because this guy just has a knack for moving the chains, and he's able to do it again right there.
McKinnon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 8 yards to go here on 2nd down. 2nd down, Bridgewater. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater.
That's caught at the 2. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Michael Pruitt with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now they're confident.
And the ball is knocked out. Strong grabs it over the middle. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. On first down, Osweiler. Pass incomplete. On second down, here's Miller. And he's brought down. A nice little juke move that preceded it, but not much thereafter. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Shane Leckler now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Houston defense we watch as they get set to go. Last drive, touchdown surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Bridgewater a give. This is Peterson. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Bridgewater. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The four-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt, with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 33. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he's brought down after a good game. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And touchdown and congratulations and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. Fighting through. And now out comes Minnesota. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. And he fires one incomplete. Johnson the intended target. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now Bridgewater. And finding Pruitt. And he's brought down after a good game. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Bridgewater to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Bridgewater. And he comes back with one complete. And there's a flag on the play.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. Automatic 1st down.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And on 2nd and 10 now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Get ready. Wait, 9.
Here's Bridgewater. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. One last shot now for Bridgewater. And this is going to be caught. It's caught. And they've won the football game.
I think what we just saw in that drive, partner, is great practice, preparation, and poise. Not only did they score with little time left for them to retaliate, they chewed up enough time along the way while still getting the yardage they needed. That was an impressive drive.
Very methodical. Now, barring something crazy on the kickoff, they've got this one. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Oh, man, we just saw it moments ago. What a great win. A touchdown to cap the game as the clock hits zeros.
I don't care how you finish it. It's always dramatic to win on the last play of the game. But when it's a touchdown and not a field goal, even more dramatic. Phenomenal finish.
So for the Vikings, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.